Hello, I'm Eric Snodgrass, and thank you for watching today's weather outlook for the southern region, brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, we just take a look at the last 7 days. We've seen a very active mid-south and also southern Mississippi River Valley. You can see that some locations right in through here have picked up well over a couple of inches of rainfall, with a few of those thunderstorms really hammering parts of eastern Texas, much of southern half of Arkansas, a big chunk of Mississippi and Louisiana. Some of those storms you see there picked up, some locations, almost 8 inches of rainfall. Well, the same region is going to continue to stay quite active, and we're going to spread the severe weather threat over the next 10 days all across this area. But at the same time, we're dealing with some severe weather threat across, the eastern part of the southern region. We're going to have to watch the western part of it here for the potential for fire threat. Now, the system that's emerging in the middle of the country today is going to be creating some very windy conditions down here and also some very dry conditions. It's kind of interesting. We're not going to be able to push the moisture from the Gulf of Mexico too far back to the west with this system, which is going to eliminate our severe weather threat in this area over the next couple of days and really keep it focused much more on the eastern part of the southern region. But what we're really dealing with here is a risk for fires. And that's what we're kind of looking at here. This is the Storm Prediction Center. They put out both a fire risk map, which is over here on the left, and also a severe thunderstorm risk map, which is over here on the right. Now, this is just for the day on Tuesday. So you're going to see that because of some very low humidities and some high wind, we're dealing with an elevated fire threat throughout much of the kind of the four corner states here getting over towards Texas. And we're still dealing with this kind of pesky upper level trough that is finally going to be exiting the East Coast today, but still we're going to be bringing in a slight risk for some severe storms for the Carolinas getting back into Georgia. And this is a region that just over the last 24 to 48 hours has seen many reports of severe winds and some big hail. So we have another round of this coming today. We'll take a closer look at it in just a few moments. The setup is really well defined in this animation, showing you the winds tomorrow. So let's just take a look at what's going on tomorrow. We have a huge ridge that's sitting out here in the middle of the Pacific, so it's doing something like this. And the flow around this is going something like that. This is the upper level flow. So that trough in this area is going to be initiating a huge low pressure system right in through this area. This is going to be producing blizzard conditions on the backside and racing toward the Great Lakes. Now, as it does so, our goal is to always find the boundary between where the moist air is and where the drier air is. And the problem is, as the system starts, it's pulling air from parts of Mexico and central Texas like this, rather than directly out of the southeast. So we're going to be able to push some of this drier air in this area over to the east faster, eliminating the severe weather threat early this week in parts of Texas and shifting it much, much farther to the eastern part of the southern region. So that's our flow pattern right now. So if we just take a look at what's driving this in the upper levels, let's kind of check this out. Again, here's our upper level trough that's still sweeping through the parts of the southeast, causing some problems. But the bigger feature we're going to be dealing with this week, well, let me show you it kind of come in here. Let's get that drawing off there. There we go. Here we go. That major trough that you see sweeping out of the west, coming into the four corner states and then moving right into the central United States. This is by basically Wednesday around midnight. This system's coming out early Thursday morning. Out ahead of it, a lot of warmth. Behind it, pretty good shot of some cooler air. And with this system that's invigorated here in the middle part of the country, big blizzard on the backside. But you're not going to see the precipitation really erupt out of this until we get to the lower Mississippi River Valley. We're going to talk about that. So that system moves on through. It brings in a cold shot of air. Now look at this. Toward the weekend, I've got you out now to Friday night into Saturday morning. The next feature we're going to have to watch is this trough right here in parts of New Mexico and Texas. Now, why I'm concerned about this one is it will not have trouble pulling in some moisture, and it will bring that severe weather threat back toward eastern Texas, Louisiana, and the lower Mississippi River Valley, and then move it east with time. So that's our system that moves through over the weekend, and it again pulls toward the north. And then watch this. By the time I get you out here at about day 7, day 8, we can see our next trough kind of digging in. And we're going to see that trough kind of slowly here. I just want to take you out to day 10 real quick, push toward the Great Lakes again, and then by the time we get to day 15, things really kind of flatten out for us. And we're going to talk at the end of this video about what we're watching here to develop by the time we get into May across the southeast. So this is the upper level flow pattern that's bringing us this. In the day on Wednesday and Thursday, notice how the severe weather threat stays out of the southern region. By the time we get into Thursday, we're going to see the potential for the storms to build down the line here and then eventually move toward the east. But because this system starts here and lifts quickly to the north and northeast, we really eliminate our major severe weather threat at the end of this week, which much of us in the southern region should be very happy about. But remember, that next trough digs a little bit farther to the south, and it'll be able to draw in plenty of moisture, and that's why we see this region in through here on Saturday already has a risk put out for it by the Storm Prediction Center. And then as this sweeps to the east, Sunday, we're just going to keep translating that over here, what we call Dixie Alley, so getting into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. While we're going to get missed by the first system, the second one's going to come through and get us. So let's just play this out. You're going to see right here the severe storm, still pesky upper level trough bothering the southeast, but there's our big system that emerges. And I got you all the way out to 8 a.m. Thursday, and we saw that Texas and Oklahoma, we're going to get to miss out on this. We just got to step back and ask why. Well, take a look at these humidities. As I play this forward, the problem is we're going to have plenty of warmth, but with those higher temperatures, it's going to be hard to get our relative humidities high enough to tap into the moisture we need to make these big storms. So this much drier air, look, we have some single-digit relative humidities by the time we press in through the day on Wednesday, just keeps the warm, moist air pretty far toward the east, and that's why we don't get enough of it to blow up some thunderstorms here until we get into Thursday night and eventually over toward Friday. So Oklahoma, Texas, parts of western Arkansas, Louisiana, we're just not going to get the severe weather threat of this first system because it's too dry. But then as that system moves toward the north and east, we will get showers and thunderstorms here throughout the day on Friday. They're getting over into over here into the southeast. But watch the next system. You see, as this one emerges on Saturday, look at the much higher humidities here. And as a consequence, we're going to have plenty of moisture to tap into to make this next storm system Saturday into Sunday. So that's the difference. And if I just take you back, the fire threat is right here. See this incredibly low humidity with those stronger winds? That just elevates our fire risk, early in this season. Okay, let's see what the European model says on precipitation timing. So we get the first system out. Look at this. Here we are Thursday morning. We see that much of the southern region is dry. It won't be until Thursday evening, like I said, where the moisture really comes in, that will be right along the lower Mississippi River Valley that the storms start to blow up. And they'll press through the Mid-South. They'll press through parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia as we get into the day on Friday into Friday evening. Now, as this system gets way up here into parts of Quebec and Ontario, the front will stretch down like this, and it won't advance very quickly through the Carolinas and Georgia. So our severe thunderstorm threat wanes as we progress through the day on Friday to the southeast coast. But remember, the next system emerges on Saturday, and as it presses through the southern plains, getting into the lower Mississippi River Valley, it brings in a very wet and very stormy, potentially severe weekend here in terms of both tornadoes, strong winds, and hail for the lower Mississippi River Valley, and that pushes. Look at this. This is a vigorous system. I'm worried about this one for this weekend, pushing through the southern part of the United States over toward the southeast. And we're not done. We're just going to watch this quickly here, but we see another system emerging midweek next week that I'll have to watch very carefully as well. So the pattern is extremely active, and when we add it all up, because this region has 3 systems over the next 10 days that pass through it, the potential for some heavy rainfall, when we add it all up, talking better than 3, in some locations over 5 inches of rainfall, the flooding potential is quite high. So we're watching this area very carefully for both severe weather and also for our flooding threat. And what are our temperatures doing? We'll take a look at this. As I progress through this week, very warm across the southern region until that system, by the time we get into Thursday night, is really well developed over the central plains. As it moves toward the northeast, you see we will keep the eastern part of the southern region, so I'm talking east of the Mississippi, warm, but cooler air will be moving into parts of Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas by the time we get through the day on Thursday into the day on Friday. Now, throughout the weekend, the southern region, we're going to see, again, east of the Mississippi, staying warm, but really cold air comes in behind this system for Saturday here into the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Next system emerges Saturday into Sunday. There it goes. And that'll finally bring some cooler weather by the time we get into early next week all the way to the East Coast. But we'll see a resurgence of some warmer air by midweek next week. So any cool downs that we're going to see across the southern region are going to last just a couple of days. The frost and freeze threat is not an issue issue right now. I don't think the air will get cold enough to bring freezing temperatures down into the southern region, so we're not concerned about that. But certainly we're on a bit of a roller coaster ride with our temperatures. To finish this one up, I just want to give a quick tease as to what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, my long-range update. Take you out here to May 1st. We do see the flow pattern doing something like this as we begin the month of May. So possibly some split flow out west around this ridge, and that just is going to say the chances of us getting really hot early here at the end of April and beginning of May, not in the cards. But I will be discussing how we see by mid-May the pattern kind of setting itself up like this and some ridging over the southeast. And if that does that, that's a very volatile pattern for the midsection of the country. And this also could be something I want to watch out for the rest of the summer, is what's going on with that southeast ridge. It's a crucial component to any risk we have for drought. But we'll save that conversation for tomorrow in the long-range update. And with this, I'll go ahead and wrap this video up. We at Nutrien Ag Solutions hope you look forward to our next Southern Region forecast coming out soon. Hope you have a great week, and we'll talk to you then. Thank you.